As we continue to introduce our mission, our vision, our goals, our aspirations to the world, I want to continue to bring my audience into some real life truth. This is a beautiful opportunity for me to get to know my father on a deeper level, and a beautiful opportunity for him to get to know his son on a deeper level. A lot of times, our relationships with our family members is often compromised because of the misunderstandings, because of the lack of communication. I take full responsibility on that. That's something that I wish I could have changed. And this is our initiative to take our relationship to a whole nother level. We're bringing you guys in because this is real. You know, a lot of us, we struggle with certain family members. We struggle with our parents. We struggle with understanding why our parents act how they act, and most importantly, why we act how we act towards our parents. So I hope you guys enjoy this intimate moment between my father, Angel Rodriguez, and I. So you want to go first?
Sure. I want to start by asking you a couple questions.
So we're gonna do you go, I go. You ask a question, I answer. I ask a question, you answer.
Okay. I start with Jeremy. I'm asking you, who is Jeremy Rodriguez right now?
Damn, bro, you going deep already? Jeremy Rodriguez is a proud father, a loving, caring individual that's trying to take his broken pieces and build them up so that I can have a story to tell and inspire other people to realize that you can take your broken pieces and also build them up.
Okay.
But most importantly, I'm a proud father, I'm a proud son, I'm a proud brother, I'm a proud soon-to-be husband, and just a proud philanthropist of the world, man.
That is so great. Since you opened that door, I'm going to throw you another question. Jeremy, me as your father, can you say that I gave you enough love in your upbringing and showing you enough wisdom that you can show my grandkids, if anything, I tried to teach you?
So, one of the things that I've always given you credit for is the heart that I have. Like, the heart that I have stems from the love that you gave me. That's one thing, papi, and bela that I would never take for granted. Like, I can honestly say that I know what love feels like because of you. You know, and a big part of why I am who I am is because I've always understood your heart. You know, I misunderstood your actions, but I've always understood your heart, and that allowed me to love the world the way I do.
I appreciate
And that's real, man. I think it's important for me to truly highlight this because, you know, my father was there. You know, he loved me despite his battles. He loved me despite his struggles, and I just want to take this opportunity to just say thank you. Like, I think I've taken for granted all the times that I can count on you, bro. You know, like every time you need me, not every time you need me, every time I need you, you're there. Every call I give you, you're there. And I know that I've taken that for granted. You know, like I was so busy judging the results in your life that I took it for granted, and I apologize for that, bro.
I would give something to my son.
For real, I apologize for that. Like, I apologize for that.
I don't hold no animosity. Because the love that I feel, always felt for you, doesn't allow me to hold hate and animosity. You see, when you love somebody, so deep, you can get away with pain. You know, your heart, like my heart, has healed of so much pain that I have endured in this world. It's never been easy. But I can really say the proudest days of my moments is when you came along. Well, since the day you was born, I was in love with you. I'm still in love with you, and I will be in love with you till the day I die. And I want you to take that with you, because I'm sure that I'm taking you
Thank
with me. So, okay, I'm gonna throw you a fast pitch.
you. Yeah.
My son, you're a people person. If you please every person that you could please, how you separate your feelings towards your followers and and fam and family, what is the difference perspective on that?
Wow. That's a crazy question. So for me, it's like I love humans. I love my followers. I wouldn't even say followers. I would say supporters. You know, because at the end of the day, like you're just supporting a journey. You're not following a journey.
Right.
And I think the difference between the love that I have for my supporters and the love that I have for my family is that I'm really ready to die for my family. Most of my life, I was willing to sacrifice my freedom for my family. I wish that sometimes you guys could look deep into my mind and deep into my heart to realize that every action that I'm taking, even when I distance myself from you guys, is because I love you guys. It's because whenever I come into your presence, I want you to have something to be proud of.
Always.
I know that my choices haven't been the best. I know that I haven't been the best son. I understand that. But everything that I've done has always been with the right intentions because of how much I genuinely love you guys. So the difference between the love that I have for my supporters and the love that I have for my family is that I'm willing to die for my family right now. That's a crazy deep question, bro. That's a crazy deep question.
Um, you know, I'm not used to being in cameras. I'm not used to popularity.
You're doing great.
But I'm gonna shoot you another question.
Yeah.
How will you handle the pressure when you know that you had reached the top of your journey? In other words, when you actually be well pronounced in your industry, where does that leaves me and your mom within that journey?
So a big reason why I'm doing this interview at this time is because right now I'm trying to prioritize my values. I know that throughout this journey, I've kind of lost myself and I lost my understanding of what's important. And for me, knowing that I'm heading to where I'm heading, I want to make sure that my foundation is where it needs to be. Because what's the point of me satisfying the world if I'm not taking care of my circle, which is you, mommy, Audrey, my wife, my son, my daughter, my dogs. And I know that because I've been so insecure all of my life that I've chased the world when I should have been chasing everything that I had in front of me already. So, regardless of how far I get in life, regardless of where this journey takes me, I know that ultimately, as long as my foundation is where it needs to be and I don't forget what's most important, that I should be alright. And that's something that I'm gonna need you, mommy, Audrey, my wife, my son, my daughter to remind me. Because it's very easy to get lost, especially when you're great at what you're doing. And the last thing I want to do is lose my family and gain the world.
You know, I have never denied you. It could be the smallest thing to the largest task. There's never a no for you. And And I wanna take this opportunity to tell you I love you. So much. You are my idol, my hero. You're everything to me. And I am proud wherever I stand. That's, they tell me that's Jeremy's dad. I said, yes, I am. It's because I hold that proudness of a dad where, where only you dwell on it. I want you to know that I am very, very proud. And may the Lord and the angels keep blessing you and your family. You're an outstanding dad, outstanding husband to my daughter-in-law, an outstanding son to both parents. What else can I ask for? If I ask for more, that means I'm being ungrateful. But I'm very, very happy how you turned out in this world.
So I got a couple of questions for you. I appreciate that, but I love you, man. This is I'm really glad that we're doing this because believe it or not, it's like I found myself kind of like not understanding the distance between us
I was
because I
lost.
didn't want to understand it.
You took your time off. You said you needed space and all that. I didn't bother you. I gave you your space and everything. But but in my space was empty
Yeah.
because my world rotates on you, on your mother, on your sister, my grandkids. That's my world. And then when you take time off, my world feels empty. Right now, I'm here and I want to jump on joy because I'm next to my son, and I want to thank you for that.
So I think I want to really touch on what he's saying, right? Because when you're pursuing something in life, when you're trying to better yourself, at some point you have to really focus on you. And I was so ready to take my life to the next level that I was willing to really disconnect from everything and anything that I love. A lot of you are in a position where you can't get rid of the toxicity in your life, you can't get rid of the negativity in your life, you can't get rid of the stuff that's holding you back. And I was willing to sacrifice my time with my loved ones to better me because I know ultimately there's sacrifices that you have to put in place when you're really trying to pursue something. So what you just heard from him was the consequences of that distance, right? That emptiness, that sorrow, those questions, that wondering what does my son truly feel right now that he's so distant from me. So it's powerful, man. It's powerful. So I wanna take this opportunity to get to know you a little bit because you're my father. And I want to start with, if you can change anything about your life, what would it be and why?
If I was to change anything in my life, what would it be? Okay, career.
Mm.
I could have forced myself a little more for a higher education, which is very important. I know that now. And this changes that everybody got to do. Within yourself, within your surroundings. But for me, I always say my life is always been fulfilled because the love of your mom, the love that I always had for your mom and she got from me, and the love that I got from my kids, you, your sister. That's that's where my survival goes. That's what I strive when I go out there. When I used to work picking up bricks for 2 cents a brick to bring to pay the bills and all that. Nothing was easy. Nothing was given. But I'm just grateful how y'all turn out to be from where I come from. Can't accept for anybody.
If you can change anything about our relationship, what would it be and why?
More time.
One time.
My world, like I keep repeating myself, my is you, my kids, you and I'll be. And what we can change is time. Give each other more time with each other. Try to understand me as as much as I gotta understand you. Find your way to know my way so I can find your way. We gotta meet each other 50-50 because there's no 30% here, 80% there. We gotta want it.
Yes.
Because I want it. I always want it. My joy and my happiness every day is just knowing that I'm spending time with my kids. I don't care if you're 80 years old. I'll carry your cane. But I want to be there. Feel me?
Yeah.
Whew.
What is the best and worst part about being my father?
The best part is easy. You are my protege. You, you're something that I can say I'm proud of in this world. When everything is said and done, the legacy that you're gonna leave behind, some way, somehow, deep inside, I know I was part of it. You know. And with that being
And what's the worst part? Oh. Watch out. Move like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Join up. Hit it with an Uber. You gotta cut that. That's real.
the worst part,
Yes.
psychologically,
You can be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. It's I could have been a better provider. Emotionally, um, mentally, I could. The worst part is when I kept putting myself down.
Mm.
So when I hit hit rock bottom, that was the worst part of my life because for me, I was letting y'all down, my family, and I could not ever live with that. So that's the worst moments of my life. Thinking of letting y'all down.
I could really relate to that because I think that that's a big reason why I've made so many sacrifices in my life. You know, like, I know that you and mommy did whatever you guys could have based on what you guys had. And it's like, I never went hungry. I always had a roof over my head. I've always had clothes on my back. And I'll be crazy not to appreciate that. You know, I could have been an abortion. I could have been adopted. I could have been in programs. And you guys fought despite everything that you guys went through for me. I would never forget that. Never forget that.
is you you're a blessing. You've always been a blessing to us. So from the morning you was born to now, there's nothing negative that anybody can say in front of me about you, because I will take that to the heart. I will take that personally because you have strived. Things hasn't been easy for you. I get it. You know, we we I started work. I started working at 2.25 an hour to keep a roof over the family's head. That wasn't easy, you know, but I did it. I never asked for a handout. I can stand proud and says, I got my family. They are where I tried. You know, you
Yes.
went to school. There was there was never an issue with school because I disciplined hard on it. You know, and I'm just grateful that you're here. I'm just grateful.
What would the 35? I mean, what would you tell the 35-year-old you?
What would I say to the 35-year-old me?
Yeah. So basically, I'm your replica, your protege, right? 35 years old. So you being in my shoes, knowing what you know, what can you tell me that you wish you would have done differently at 35 years old? What would you tell the 35-year-old you?
I will tell you, life life is serious only to the extent where you got to take it. You know, uh, never never count your failures. Never count your failures. Always put your success in priority.
Mm,
Um, Me going back 35, say, pick up as much knowledge and wisdom as you can, because that will rub on your kids. And once they know the direction and it's the correct direction, you'll be proud to be there. So, you know, journeys are not easy. Dreams are fulfillable. It's just how much you want.
you guys see where I get the wisdom from, right? That boy gift the gab is crazy. I got it from my daddy. I get it from my daddy. So we both got one more question to wrap up, or one more thought, whatever you feel in your heart you want to share that can possibly help somebody out there that is not on the same page as they want to be with their father, their mother, their brother, their sister, as a father to their kids. What's a thought from this experience with your son that you would like to share with the world?
I tell you, when you're a struggling parent, no matter how hard is the struggle, family always comes first. The kids come first. Never talk to them with hate. One. Two, it's not about giving. It's about sharing. You can sit down in a living room and share the TV. Sit down with your kids, hug them, tell them you love them. No matter how disappointing the day may turn out to be, But it ain't as bad as neglecting your kids. That's a no.
That's very important.
So what I would like y'all to take from me is I was strict. I was the A whole of the family. But it paid off. It paid off. When you discipline a son or daughter with love, not discipline with hate, they would understand. Like my son right now. He's older, wiser, and he gets it. Because the discipline with love is the heart and the mind. So I want y'all to take that with you.
That's amazing. The last thought that I would like to share is that there's going to be a time in life where it's too late to fix the broken relationship that you have with a loved one. There's going to be a time in life where you can no longer forgive and you will never be able to forget. So I know that as a son, as a brother, as a family member, as a boyfriend, a father, I know that there's so many things that I still lack that I got to work on. And I think in order for you to fix any relationship, you have to fix your mindset and your perception on that relationship. Your biggest problems are often your greatest blessings. The way I look at my father and his life is that he sacrificed himself and his happiness to teach me everything that I didn't want to become. And he did it with love. He did it with care. He did it with empathy. And it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. There's been times in this journey where I know we've hated each other, not because we wanted to, but because we weren't happy where the relationship was at. I know there's been times where I've criticized him and he's criticized me. And what's sad is that we never told each other, right? We never chose to understand each other. We always judge each other, but we never took the time to really understand the why. And I'm taking this initiative to bring you guys into a very intimate part of my journey because I think it's important for us to really, really think about what's real, what really matters. Let's stop running away, man. Let's stop trying to serve the world when your world needs to be served first and foremost. I'm super honored that my father came here. Every time I tell him to do anything, he's there. And I hope that this is a step in the right direction to really blossoming this relationship. You know, he's going through some personal battles, and I really thought about this because I'm like, man, you know, like, regardless of what you think or what you say, like, when that moment comes, like, what are you going to truly feel in your heart? Really. You know, when you're looking at your family member, when that mom, that dad, that brother, that sister, that child, when you have to look at them in that casket, like, what are you really going to feel? Think about that and reverse engineer that. Now, love them, understand them, cope with them. And I'm not saying to tolerate, right? Because the way I reward my family is through behavior. The better they behave, the more they get my time. But sometimes you have to really realize what are they telling you with their behavior. Oftentimes, this man was telling me that all he wanted to do was get my time. All he wanted to do was spend time with his baby. But he did it in a way where I didn't understand it. And I didn't choose to understand it. Therefore, it created friction and distance. Your parents, your family is telling you a lot with their behavior. Take the time to get out of your own mind and put yourself in theirs. Papi, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for this opportunity to get to know you, man. This is so cool, bro. This is really cool, man. This is really cool. This is really cool.
Thank you for this opportunity.